Hi, welcome to today's video. If you're new, my name is Grace, and today I intend to be a bit vulnerable so that you don't think I normally share or I am sharing about relationships and everything, because I am perfect. I've made mistakes, and today I'll be sharing 4 mistakes I did in my first relationship. If you have watched the video on situationships, I talked about having updated one person before I dated my now husband, and there are some mistakes I did. It's good to admit that it's not always the other party that has only committed errors or mistakes. Even at some point you find yourself having done mistakes, and that is what I will be handling today. So the first mistake is one, I prayed but I did not wait to hear from God. So basically the mistake is I did not wait to hear from God. So I prayed. I remember when I was asked out, I was so happy, so excited. I think this was the first time I was actually getting asked out by a guy, a serious person, of course. And I was very happy and excited. So I remember I actually prayed. I was asking God, oh, tell me. But it didn't take even a day. I had already said yes, because I was thinking to myself, what could go wrong? This is someone who is good. He loves God. He's born again. He's committed in ministry. What honestly would go wrong, and we have been friends for a while. So basically I did not really wait to hear what God had to say. So when you are considering someone, don't do that mistake. Take your time and pray and wait to hear from God first before you say yes to someone, and then you end up hurting them. The second mistake that I did was starting to date when I was not ready. So I think age-wise, I thought I was ready, and the fact that I had friends who were already dating, even like even when we were in high school, there are people who are dating. Even when we were primary school, there are people who are dating, and even when I went to campus, there are people who had already started dating and they were doing well. From the time we reported, there are people who met when we reported and they just started dating. So I thought I was ready. I thought, well, I'm already an adult. I'm already a young adult. It's not like I thought age-wise and everything, I am ready. I can start dating. But in the real sense, now looking back, I was actually not ready. I had not known the logistics of being in a serious relationship, a long-term relationship, and what it takes. I wasn't prepared psychologically on what to expect, the challenges that come with dating and everything. So not realizing that I wasn't ready, I just went on thinking that I actually was. So I didn't have the knowledge. Yeah. And that was a mistake. So that's why I encourage, and if you have watched, there's a video I also did on signs that you are ready. If you have not watched it, please make sure to watch it so that you don't repeat a mistake that I did. Okay? The third one is seeking approval and not blessings from people in authority. For my case, people in authority were my parents. There are people I know, for them you will seek approval, but you'll basically, you probably find maybe your pastor or there's someone who for you is someone in authority. You have to go and see them when you consider to get married and move to the next level in a relationship. Okay, so what the mistake I did, I want to first explain what I mean by seeking approval and not really going for blessings. When you consider someone to start dating or to get married, let me say about getting married, because probably when you are dating you might not really go for all this, go telling your parents and probably your pastor. You might start off, then say it later. Yeah, but seeking approval is where, like what I did, I went to my parents, and when they didn't seem to like the idea that I was dating, I started feeling like this wasn't it, because I was going there for them to put a stamp that this is it, to put a seal. You are good. That is good. That is a good person. You can go ahead with this relationship. But in the real sense, now knowing what I know, I should. What you actually do, you're not going to ask them for permission to marry that person. You're going to seek their blessing, that this is the person I have found, this is the person I have chosen to settle with. Bless me to go ahead. I'm honoring you with this. Then they give you their blessings, okay? Because at the end of the day, this is where the difference comes in, with approval and blessing. More so probably like our nation, Kenya, we have so many tribes, and there are tribes that won't want you, their parents will not want you to marry from another tribe or a certain specific tribe, okay? For whatever reason, we've had, tribal issues and all. So they might not want you to marry from a certain tribe, but you have already prayed, you have asked God, and God has confirmed. Then will you go on with it? That is where now comes approval and blessing. Will you go ahead when they are not okay with that tribe? Most times, if you're sure, you have prayed, you're only going there for blessings, you will wait for them to come around. But if you are seeking approval, you will cut off the relationship. Sometimes it's not even tribe. Sometimes it could be a career. Your parents feel this person, like for ladies, this man might not provide for your family the way we had anticipated our daughter would be provided for. So you end up letting go someone because your parents are not approving the career, the amount of money the person is making, or even how they look. Some parents might be like, nah, this person is not as pretty as we anticipated for our son or our daughter. And so if you are seeking approval, chances are you will break up with that person almost immediately. Yeah. And if you are seeking blessings, chances are you will wait. You will wait for your parents to come around. You will try to talk them into realizing why you've actually chosen this person and why you're going for them, okay? Even when you get married, sometimes there are people who might not approve. Will you let go of your spouse because someone has not approved? So the mistake I did for me is I went for approval. I went and I just wanted them to put a seal and say, this is it, this is okay, go ahead. But when they didn't show positive vibe for me dating, I just started having issues. I started struggling. Of course, my parents didn't say, no, you shouldn't. Actually, my dad said, we are not okay with it, but we will pray about it. If it is from God, it will continue. If not, then the relationship will break. And honestly, that is where he told me puppy love is true to the puppies, the way I said in my previous video on some of the lessons I learned. Yeah. So for him, I was just playing games. It wasn't real. Yeah. So don't seek blessings. Seek not approval, not for someone to stamp, not your pastor to stamp, or your parents to stamp, or your brother or your sister to stamp the relationship. Whoever should stamp that relationship is God and you. Okay? Yes. So I hope that is very clear so that you don't think I'm saying go get married no matter what people say. The fourth one is not talking about the underlying issues. In any relationship, even when you're truly meant to be, you're good for each other and everything, there will always be maybe a place where you're disagreeing or you get offended over a certain issue, okay? So what I realized, even in this relationship, there are things that I got offended about that I didn't say. So when something small actually happened, I was like done, because I had put a few things. The relationship didn't last long, it was, I think, about a month. But within that time, there are a few times I got offended, and I didn't really talk about them. So what happens, even in marriage and even when you start dating, if you don't talk about certain issues that have offended you, one day you got offended by issue A, B, C. Issue D comes in, which is very small and insignificant. Then you decide, if you're married, I'm packing, I am leaving. Not because of issue D really, but because you have kept issue A, B, C, and not talking about them, not showing that you're offended, not letting your partner know, by the way, I don't like when this and this has been done, I don't like when you say this and this, I don't like what, okay? So not dealing with the underlying issues is actually one of the mistakes I did, and I know it's something I have learned over time to talk about when I get offended over an issue as soon as possible, okay? Even as soon as I have realized I'm getting offended by a certain issue, I try to talk about it before I pile onto another issue, and then it bottles up, and then I just get so angry and I don't want to talk. Okay, so don't do that mistake. That is a mistake I did in my first relationship, and I think it kind of costed the relationship. Okay, so thank you for watching to the end. I have been a bit vulnerable, and I hope I'll continue being vulnerable in other videos and sharing my experiences and things that have worked, things that I have learned. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you. God bless you.